paper is made up of fibers. Fibers have lengths. So, it may be this long. So by the time you shred it, you've chopped it up and the fibers are only this long. So when it's used in the recycling process, it goes through the pulper, and some of it may actually attach to other fibers, and some may wash away in the wastewater at the processing plant. So, we really want to get the most out of that paper. That's why they tell you that paper can be recycled about 4 times on average. It may be a little more than that, depending on the process that they use to loosen the fibers. There's some really rough methods of loosening those fibers to get them into the pulp mush that they use. And then there's some very gentle ways that they can loosen the fibers. So if they use the gentle methods, they don't usually tear quite so much. They are going through this little section here, and anything less than 2 inches in diameter is going to fall through. That can be bottle caps, broken glass. We actually sell this to a company that takes our glass. So they will take this. We don't have to landfill it. Here, once this stuff goes in these floated areas, it falls down onto a conveyor belt, and that is all taken down the line there, and it hits another trash belt, which takes it outside into the bunker. And all the glass is stored outside as well. Do it. It's going to fill the baler thing up, and then when it's ready, the door will open, and I'm just going to flip pictures as it comes out. It compresses it to a certain size, and that's what makes that shape and size, and we have to have that so we know it's pretty close to coming out. Push it out, and then it's going to give you the weight over here. Okay. 1,673 pounds. The man with all the knowledge. But you will notice also that on the containers, a lot more wire is used to bale it. And that is to hold it all together, because the bale really needs to maintain its integrity in the shipping process. So there are standards with recycling and really good reputation for providing quality materials to our vendors. We have a company in Georgia that takes our materials. That is really important in the recycling industry. We don't want to have to sit on materials for weeks at a time. For one, the price may change. May be a good thing, maybe a bad thing. But you can see we don't have a whole lot of storage space here. So we rely on a lot of our customers to drop trailers here, which are on the other side behind those doors. We have trailers that we will load directly onto. This goes to Georgia, or the newspaper goes to Georgia. The mixed paper would go to Rock 10, and that is in Lynchburg. Our corrugated cardboard goes to Greff. It's Greff Brothers, and they are also in Lynchburg. Some some stays in Virginia, some may go to one of the Carolinas. I can't remember which one now. Each bale is tagged with the weight and the time with our name on it, so when it gets to a mill, they know where it came from and they can track it if they have any issues with it. This shredded looks different. Cintas has a shredding operation, so they go around to some of the doctor's offices and the banks and they shred the material for them and they deliver it to us and have us bale it for them. So it's what we call toll baling. We don't have to handle it at all other than just throw it into the baler and bale that and ship it wherever they need. The aluminum bales are typically the lightest. The recycled materials wall here, there's a lot more products that have recycled on them. It's a great marketing tool. These are fairly new. These are recycled compostable plates. We use this for a no waste event that we held here sometime ago. People can make bottles back into bottles, and that's called closed loop recycling, or we can make it into another product. I like closed loop recycling because it's a newspaper. It gets made back into a newspaper. It can be recycled again and again. If this bottle is made into this scarf, when I'm finished with this scarf, it's not going to be recycled again. So, we do have to look at having products made back into products that can be recycled over and over. I know a lot of this stuff, that's the case with it. It's got one life. But pavers made out of tires. We've had such an issue with tires and what we're going to do with so many of them. Incentives to recycle them, but we take our tires and we grind them into pieces about like this. At the landfill, each day there has to be about 6 inches of soil covering the waste each day. So they can use soil, they can use ash, they can use tire material, a portion of it. So they take our tires and help cover the trash because they have to use something anyway, so why not use the tires and save the soil for something else? So but this paver works just like the brick pavers, except you have a grid that they sit in. And let me grab this grid. The pavers are about half as tall as this. You just put those down, you have a whole new surface for your deck. And the good thing about that is bricks are so fragile. There's nothing that's going to happen to that except bounce. When landfills were first constructed, they didn't have to have a liner in the bottom.
Yeah.
So Subtitle D required that to take effect in all localities, or you had to shut your landfill down. So this not only goes on the bottom, but when you cap your landfill, the synthetic liner goes on top. So really, basically, you just have this tomb, and it's really hard to get any decomposition when it's in something like this. They started trying to figure out a way to take that old carpet, bring it back to their facility, reuse that in some way, so they had less raw material costs, they had less water usage. It took one machine to grind that up, but they made from the old carpet the backing for their new carpet. So this carpeting was designed for hospitals and doctors' offices because there's no smell, there's no glue that's needed to put this down. The adhesive is not a strong smell, so they could go in and put it in one day and you're not going to interfere with anything. But Collins and Aikman developed the technology, and then there's been some other people to jump onto that idea and try to find ways to make carpeting using recycled materials. Mohawk uses the recycled soda bottles completely. Collins and Aikman may make some of the recycled fiber for the top, but I don't know for certain. But I do know Mohawk has this as recycled material. Collins and Aikman uses recycled material to make their backing.
Shoes.
For that, it's not just monitors and televisions, it's also keyboards and speakers, things like that. So miscellaneous, some of the other accessories that go along with that, DVD player, and we are permitted to hold that stuff for a certain number of days, and then somebody comes and picks that up and they take it to a facility in Johnson City, Tennessee, where they break down all of these items and they recycle. We've got your assortment of mixed paper. Are collecting it and they drop it off at your.
Yeah.